This is the most troublesome wife in the world. After being supported by her husband for 15 years, she felt that married life was too bland, so she forced her husband to divorce her. However, not long after the divorce, the ex-wife, unable to earn money, shamelessly tried to reconcile with her ex-husband. But as soon as she stepped into her ex-husband's house, she found that he had already married a new wife. Seeing her ex-husband and his current wife being affectionate, the ex-wife was furious and threatened to move in her ex-husband's new house with his current wife. Her outrageous behavior made her mother-in-law furious, and she was thrown out of the house. The woman appearing fragile in front of the camera is Lee Yu-mei. Lee Yu-mei told us that after the divorce, she lived a dark and depressing life because she couldn't make money and could only stay in a windowless rental room every day. Seeing the money she received from the divorce gradually deplete, she began to miss her ex-husband's kindness and then sought him out to reconcile. But what she never expected was that her ex-husband was so heartless. Before she could change her mind, he had already remarried. This completely ruined her plans. Lee Yu-mei bluntly stated that her ex-husband was shameless, and less than 3 months after their divorce, he engaged in such despicable behavior. She vowed to seek justice for herself. It turns out that Lee Yu-mei and her ex-husband have a son and a daughter. When they divorced, it was agreed that Lee Yu-mei would receive 260,000 yuan in cash and custody of their daughter, while her ex-husband would take 150,000 yuan in assets and custody of their son. However, after the divorce, Lee Yu-mei quickly realized the hardship of life without her husband's support. So, she found her son, claiming to take care of him. But in reality, she wanted her ex-husband to realize that the family couldn't function without her and beg her to reconcile. But to her surprise, her ex-husband was so unscrupulous that he found their son a stepmother. He even kicked her out of the house. Now, whenever her ex-husband learns that she is at their son's house, he immediately cuts off the water and electricity, making it impossible for her to stay. Hearing Lee Yu-mei's tearful complaints, the female reporter felt very sympathetic and immediately found her ex-husband, Yi Jian, to seek justice for her. Faced with his ex-wife's accusations, Yi Jian appeared very aggrieved, saying that it was his ex-wife who wanted the divorce in the first place. And now she's bringing a reporter to accuse him of being heartless. Yi Jian said that during their years of marriage, his ex-wife never worked outside, not even for a day, and all household chores were taken care of by his mother. Although his ex-wife was lazy, he never complained because she had given him 2 children. However, she felt that he only knew how to work and make money, which led to their relationship becoming dull, and she insisted on divorcing to seek happiness elsewhere. Despite his and their children's efforts to persuade her otherwise, nothing could change her mind, so he reluctantly let her go to fulfill her wish. This was the last act of kindness he could give her. After their divorce, Yi Jian realized that he had to work and take care of their son at the same time, which was overwhelming. To ensure that their son was well taken care of and without hindering his ex-wife's happiness, he had no choice but to find a stepmother for his son. But the female reporter was not so easily convinced. Her years of experience prompted her to ask a crucial question. How could a stepmother be better than a biological mother? After the divorce, Lee Yu-mei was pitiful too, not only taking care of her daughter, but also finding time to cook for her son. How could such a virtuous ex-wife not compare to Yi Jian's current wife? The reporter's words made Yi Jian's mother uneasy. She bluntly said that her son had the right to remarry after the divorce, and besides, She was very satisfied with her new daughter-in-law, who not only loved her grandson, but was also very diligent and filial. The new daughter-in-law also kept the house spotless and even bought all the household appliances. But as the mother-in-law praised the current wife, Lee Yu-mei felt bitter and called her mother-in-law senile, insisting that a second wife could never compare to the original one. In Lee Yu-mei's view, she had worked hard for this family for 15 years, and now, less than 3 months after the divorce, she was overshadowed by her ex-husband's current wife, which was simply outrageous. The more Lee Yu-mei talked, the angrier she became, not only cursing her ex-husband's family for being ungrateful, but also threatening to throw the current wife's belongings out. However, her mother-in-law didn't tolerate her behavior and immediately threw Lee Yu-mei out of the house. After that, her mother-in-law revealed a hidden secret. She said that her daughter-in-law originally didn't want a divorce, but after the family received 800,000 yuan in compensation for the house demolition, her daughter-in-law couldn't stop thinking about the money, and that's when she decided to divorce to split the assets. Moreover, when she divorced her son, she vowed that she would leave as soon as she received her share of the assets. But when her son finished renovating their grandson's house, she became envious of the house and found an excuse to stay, saying she needed to take care of her son. However, in response to the mother-in-law's accusations, the reporter used her skills to apply moral pressure, saying that since the house belonged to her son, it was reasonable for Lee Yu-mei, as the mother, to live there. But Yi Jian had married his current wife in his son's house, so it was clear that Yi Jian was at fault.
是不是商量着这房子也是给儿子的？是啊。对，你觉得你作为父亲你是可以住的那他作为母亲是不是也可以住呢？
你说怎么住？
喂，这个房子是你儿子的，为什么要就是你往这儿来结婚，就带着另外一个女人住这儿，这就不对。
那该谁养他？
Seeing that Yi Jian wasn't listening to her advice, the reporter came up with a good suggestion. She said that since this house belongs to their son, it should be up to the child to decide who he wants to live with.
如果是让孩子自己说，我要我跟我妈住在这儿，我不要我爸爸带个后妈住这儿，你愿不愿意？
那也可以，我就不住这里面。
Seeing that Yi Jian agreed so quickly, the reporter finally breathed a sigh of relief. Then the group went to the son's school, hoping to prepare the child in advance after school, as his decision would determine whether Lee Yu-mei could stay. In the reporter's view, Lee Yu-mei had been in poor health since childhood and had relied on her husband's family for careful care. If the child did not choose Lee Yu-mei, this poor woman would once again experience the hardships of life, as she couldn't earn money. Although the reporter's moral pressure didn't work on Yi Jian, it was more than enough to deal with a 13-year-old child. Unsurprisingly, the son followed his heart and chose to live with his mother.
到底是谁？妈妈是吧？他还是妈妈。
你们说了算，我就相信。
你确定吗？
只要你说了，我就相信。我这人就是那样。
Although Yi Jian lost, he said he would respect his son's choice. But what was unexpected was that the next day, when it was time to notarize the decision, Yi Jian realized he had been taken advantage of. Yi Jian explained that his family received 800,000 yuan in compensation from the demolition, and during the divorce, he got 150,000 yuan, while his wife took 260,000 yuan. How much was left, Yi Jian didn't say. I can't calculate it, but if anyone is good at math, feel free to figure it out. Anyway, Yi Jian used the remaining money to buy a house for his son, and then spent another 200,000 yuan on renovations. As a result, the 150,000 yuan he got from the divorce was not only all gone, but he also had to shell out an extra 50,000 yuan. Seeing that his ex-wife hadn't spent a penny, but was about to move into their son's new house, Yi Jian said he found it unacceptable. So he demanded that his ex-wife compensate him 200,000 yuan for the renovation costs. Only then would he agree to move out of the new house. Seeing that her husband was now backing out, Lee Yu-mei quickly pulled the reporter to be her witness, claiming that yesterday her husband had promised to respect their son's choice and move out of the new house. A man's word is his bond, and he can't go back on it like she does. When her ex-husband refused to listen, Lee Yu-mei threatened that if he didn't move out, she would also stay in the house, and then no one in the family would have peace.
你要不要我把昨天拍的东西给人家所长看？你昨天自己昨天都好了，他还不让人家人呢？
The reporter also chimed in to support Lee Yu-mei, loudly scolding Yi Jian for not being a man. Facing the promise he made on camera, how could he change his mind in just one day? Seeing that he was outnumbered, Yi Jian left in a huff, saying, "See you in court," before speeding off on a scooter without looking back. What do you all think of the situation? Do you think Lee Yu-mei will report her ex-husband for riding without a helmet?